We're learning how to set up equations from word problems. So let me get this to zoom in. And if this is what you were needing to retake, you should have the sheet. If not, there are extra copies with the sub or on my desk, and it's probably on the back of this one. So variables on both sides. So there are a few extra copies, so don't let that stop you and don't give the excuse of not having it. Okay, so first thing I always do, and you guys, I'll be honest, I hated word problems when I was in math. If you can give me a sheet of problems, I could do it all day long and be fine. But once it started coming to word problems, I freaked out. I was not a strong reader. I needed speech when I was young. I was in the lower reading group because I just couldn't comprehend. I couldn't understand what the words were saying. So I understand the frustration at times. Some of you who are great readers and can process what it's saying, more power to you. Some of us who struggle need tips on how to solve it. I need to take a drink of water. All right, so the first thing to do, you need to read the problem. Some of you just go straight to numbers and write equations, but you got to read the problem. Container A and container B have leaks. Container A has 800 milliliters of water and is leaking at 6 milliliters per minute. Container B has 1,000 milliliters and is leaking at 10 milliliters per minute. How many minutes, M, so they've already given us the variable, will it take for the two containers to have the same amount of water? Okay, if you don't understand what was happening, read it again. Okay, a lot of times I'll go ahead and go back to the question. How many minutes? So I need to know how many minutes. I'm looking for time. You're not going to have a negative answer. You can't have negative time. Okay, so that's the first thing you got to think about. When will it take the two containers to have the same amount of water? So I want to know when the two containers are equal. Now, if you're a drawer, make container A. Container A, I don't even know what type of container, but it's leaking. So it has a little leak. It's spilling out whatever of water, spilling water. That's a beautiful drawing, isn't it? And then container B has a leak. I should have put it up here. Container B, terrible container, has a leak. And this one, it's starting with 800 and it's leaking at 6 milliliters per minute. Container B, it's starting at 1,000, so it's higher. I should have done that up here. 1,000, and that's leaking at 10 milliliters per minute. So this one starts lower, doesn't have as much, and it's losing water slower. This one starts higher and it's losing water faster. So there is going to be a point that they're going to match, that they're going to be at the same rate. So container A started with 800 milliliters and it's losing. So that's going to represent a negative sign here. So 6M, and because we want to know how many minutes, container B starts with 1,000 milliliters and it's losing 10 milliliters every minute. So here's your equation. Once you have that set up, then you can just go to variables on one side, constants the other. So if you're at this point, you should have been solving before, but let's go ahead and let's do this. All right, move the variables to one side. I have 800 plus 2m equals 1,000. I'm going to move my 800 this way. 2m equals 200 and divided by 2. So per minute, or not per minute, excuse me, it's going to take 100 minutes. Now, how many minutes? Since it does say how many minutes, 100 minutes would be fine. Now, a lot of us might change it to time, like how much time. So 100 minutes, 90 minutes is an hour and a half, so like an hour and 40 minutes. But since it does say how many minutes, I'm perfectly fine leaving it 100 minutes. But if you want also then 1 hour, 40 minutes. But I understand it is saying minutes, so I would do that. Okay, so let's look at another one. So Tim is choosing between two cell phone plans that offer the same amount of free minutes. Singular plan charges $39.99 per month and additional minutes cost 45 cents. Verizon's plan, $44.99 with additional minutes of 40 cents. How many additional minutes, A, will it take for the two phones to be the same cost? So we have different phone plans. I wish I could draw a phone quickly, but I just can't. And I do not know, I don't even know if Singular's, I think they're in business. Now, these are not today, I'm sure, but I don't know if these are valid numbers or not. So Singular has a plan that's $39.99 per month. So it's just $39.99 for an additional minute costing 45 cents per minute. So it's 45 cents per minute. Verizon, their plan is $44.99 plus 40 cents per minute. There's an A there. We want to know when these two are going to be equal because I'm shopping plans, even though this is cheaper, $5 a month, but this goes over. So I got to look at how many additional minutes that I'm going, if I go over, then I'll be spending. So variables to one side, constants to the other. So I would subtract the 40 cents. So you have $39.99 equals $44.99. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Plus 5 cents A. Make sure you have 0.05, not 50, because you're going to have 50 cents. All right, so now I brought the A's over this way. Now you could sit and make a table. I mean, there's other ways to solve it, but sometimes your equations are going to be more efficient and faster. Not all the time, but most of the time. Okay, so that's $5. When you divide 5 cents, now if you want to sit here and figure it out, or you can use your calculator, think about 5 cents though. 5 cents goes into $1 20 times, and then you go into 100 times. But if you want to use a calculator, 5 divided by 5 cents, okay? So it's going to take 100, no, not all the answers are 100. So 100 additional minutes. Now, since we did, okay. So if I know I'm going to talk a lot and I always go over 100, I got to figure out which plan is going to be better for me, okay? So, but it's going to be an extra 100 additional minutes it's going to take for those two plans to be equal. All right, so that's what you want to do is go ahead and practice working on those type of equations. Okay, there will be an answer key uploaded to the classroom, so when you get finished or if you get stuck on one, then you can check. But please just don't open up the answer key and just copy. That's a first grade skill. But we want you to know how to set them up. And so you have these equations and these equations. And I'm trying to glance real quick to see if there's anything that you really need to be aware of. Just money, be careful. Make sure you're using cents, not dollars. And I thought there was something over here. No. Okay, that's what I want you to practice. All right, have those and then be ready for when on Tuesday and retake on Thursday. Thank you.